Are you not sure about your team, transfers, and who to captain for Game Week 2? Watch this video till the end to get answers to all your questions this week. So guys, we'll start this video with our team selection, then move on to our transfer plans, along with the best captaincy options to go for Game Week 3. Now in terms of our goal guys, we have Raya in goal, who's facing Fulham, so it's going to be a tricky fixture. Fulham can score goals, but that also means that they will be taking a fair few amount of shots, and he can get save points. So I'm not very worried in terms of Raya as a pick this week. In terms of our defense guys, I think it's a pretty solid defense. There's one surprising name here. Of course, you have the likes of Trent and Cancelo, who are really good options. They both have haul potentials. Trent definitely has a slightly easier game against United. I don't think so. United are in a very good space at the moment, and there could be a huge haul in there. Cancelo is facing a trickier fixture because it's Newcastle. Newcastle are a tighter defense, but if one team can unlock their defense, guys, it has to be Man City. So I'm not again very worried with both these picks. Yes, I'm not really gaining anything out of both of them because the ownership is going to be very high, but then I think both of them are solid options. We also have James guys, and this is where we've already made one transfer. So we had 2 free transfers this week, out of which we've already made one transfer. We've taken out Robertson, we've gotten James. But the idea of doing that is I really want James because he has greater attacking potential. At least, of course, we've only seen a couple of game weeks, but I still feel there's a lot more avenues to James in getting FPL points as compared to a Robertson right now. Robertson, yes, Liverpool's defense looks a bit shaky, but I don't think so that's gonna remain that same way for a long time. I think there are gonna be improvements in defense. I think Gomez plays ahead of Matt Phillips, and I think that's probably gonna be a huge plus for them. Plus, Robertson's positioning has been quite advanced in whatever games or whatever we've seen so far from Liverpool, guys. I think that's probably gonna continue, so he's not a bad pick. And I think if you have a certain plan, if you have some plan or some idea in mind in terms of making an upgrade, because I've seen a lot of managers doing a downgrade from a Robertson to a slightly cheaper option and then trying to upgrade maybe a Bailey or a Neto, which is kind of a tricky price point, to a Diaz as well. So that's also a good move. That's also a good transfer a lot of managers are making. I'm personally not doing that, and I'll talk about my transfer plans, talk about my transfer strategy in the transfer section. But for now, we've gone for James. Great potential. Playing Leeds, so clean sheet, yes, it could be a bit tricky because Leeds are an attacking side. They can score goals, but they're also a leaky defense, and that really spells great from an FPL point of view, guys. I think he's gonna get an attack return, maybe even 2, and I think this is a very good move to make. Then we also have Gabriel, guys, who's playing against Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth weren't really great against Man City, but it's Man City at the end of the day. This game, I think there is clean sheet potential. He can also get an attack return. I think in that 5 million odd price bracket, he's still a great option to go for. A lot safer, considering that a lot of people already have Ramsdale, guys. I'm kind of covering that clean sheet with a Gabriel in a similar price point, and I'm also possibly getting a slight attacking threat from set pieces. So I think I'm pretty sorted there. Then we have Nico Williams against Everton. May not be a favorite pick for a lot of people this week, but I think he could be a great option. I think there is potential because Everton are clearly lacking a number 9. They have decent options in their attack, but Gordon is not a proper number 9. He's not a striker, guys. He's still looking promising, but I think there is a potential for a clean sheet. Yes, Forest was a bit lucky to get that clean sheet against West Ham, and that might not happen this week, guys. But I think there is potential, there's attacking potential as well, because Everton's defense also hasn't looked that great. Yes, it's a bit tighter than what we've seen last year. Yes, the Everton game is a home game for Everton. They're playing at Goodison Parks, and they're generally, traditionally, a little stronger at Goodison in terms of their defense, in terms of keeping clean sheets. But if somebody's going to probably contribute in that Forest attack, guys, it's probably going to be Nico Williams. He's also on set pieces. There is a lot of attacking potential considering he's only 4 million. I think it's a great option to go for. I think he's probably a slightly better option than Pereira as well, guys. I think you can take advantage of Nico Williams this week. Now, in terms of midfield, it's a small, short midfield. We have Martinelli, Salah, and Mount. Martinelli and Salah pretty much nailed in most of the FPL teams, guys. They're probably template picks, pretty much template picks right now. Martinelli is a great option, still the best budget midfielder to go for, guys. And if you probably have a Saka, maybe you downgrade to a Martinelli this week if you have an additional transfer. I already have Martinelli. I'm pretty happy. It's against Bournemouth, who could be leaky. Whatever we've seen so far from the Arsenal attack, the front three are really firing, especially the left side of the Arsenal attack, guys. A lot of their attacking plays are from the left where Martinelli operates. I think Jesus and Martinelli, they're forming a great little partnership. Then we have Salah, a great record against Man United. A lot of troubles for Man United. Being a United fan, I'm actually worried about how we're going to play or how Man United is going to defend against that strong Liverpool attack. Plus, we also know that Firmino is going to come back. And when Firmino operates, he will probably create a lot of space, a lot of chances for the likes of Luis Diaz and Salah, guys. That's why Salah is a great pick. He's also a great captaincy option. We then have Mount. I know a lot of people have gone for Diaz in the third 8 million spot, or maybe the third spot in their midfield if they're playing a back 5 with a midfield 3. But we are not really making that switch. At least I'm probably not going to make that switch. I still have a transfer in mind, which I'll talk about a little later. But we're probably sticking with Mount. It's against Leeds, so it probably feels a bit criminal to take out Mount ahead of a Leeds game where he could probably score maybe a few points, get an attacking return or so, and then we'll kind of assess what happens to him in game week 4. We have the money to go from a Mount to a Diaz, for example, guys. If Diaz plays really well, we can absolutely do that. So we can do that in game week 4. We can probably save that transfer as well. But Mount right now, I think he looks pretty good. It's against Leeds. He can get a return. Leeds are not strong defensively, and I think I probably stick with him. Then we have Haaland and Jesus, guys. Not much to talk about here. Both of them are probably template picks. They're going to be strong options. Newcastle's defense, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Haaland and how he operates in that Man City attack, guys. But he's a great pick still. If you have Kane, you probably stick with Kane. You don't get to a Haaland now, considering that Kane has Wolves at home. Gabriel Jesus, on the other hand, guys, a great option to go for. If you don't have him, get him in your team. I think it's coming to a point where he's probably beyond essential. And because of his high ownership, because of the high attacking output that he can provide, I think he's a great pick, a great captaincy option as well. So this is what our team is looking like, guys. I've already made one transfer in the 2 free transfers that I had. And let's now talk about the other transfer or the overall transfer strategy for Game Week 3 and even Game Week 4. Now, in terms of the transfer strategy, guys, as I said earlier, I've already made one transfer, which is Robertson to James. Now, that has given me 1.5 million in the bank. And there are 2 possible routes that I can possibly go for. Now we have Bailey as well in our team, which is probably going to be a problem at least, maybe if not this week, maybe next week, because he's already seen a price drop. I think there'll be at least one more price drop, and then things probably get a bit tricky here. One option is that I take out Bailey this week, and then I'll get a Pascal Gross, for example. I know a lot of people are also eyeing towards a Rodrigo, so that is also an option. But I personally prefer Pascal Gross a little bit because of how Brighton have played so far. I think he's a lot more nailed probably than Rodrigo. I know a lot of people are saying that Rodrigo is probably nailed, but there are a lot of attackers in that Leeds side who could probably share attacking returns. Same probably cannot be said for Brighton because anyways they don't really get a lot of attacking returns. And Pascal Gross in his new position, he's playing close to the strikers, and I think there is attacking potential there. Now with Neil Mope out, there's also a potential for him to be on penalties if he's already not on penalties. So there is potential. But again, my issue or my worry is that let's say if he blanks in the next couple of weeks, then what am I going to do? Is there a new option that might emerge? I'm not really sure yet. I mean, I don't really want to go back to a Bailey or to a Neto. Maybe there is one option where I can downgrade a Leon Bailey to even a cheaper option. Let's say a 4.5, because right now Da Silva is probably not going to be 4.6 as well. I mean, he's nearing another price rise. So he's going to be 4.7. Then I'll probably have to look at a different 4.5 million option. I can absolutely do that and then make other upgrades, other significant upgrades possibly in other areas of the pitch. That's definitely one option. I can get a Gross this week, but I still am not very sure about the move. I mean, I can possibly get short-term returns. Maybe he's gonna blank, who knows? But that's definitely an option, guys. The third option is going from a Nico Williams to a Kyle Walker. Now, there's a lot of debate in terms of which defense to double up on, whether it should be Liverpool, whether it should be Man City or Chelsea. Now, I think there is no harm in going for a Robertson and Trent still, but there's still a lot of value. And I just feel if you can make significant upgrades, if you can maybe get a better balance out of taking out a Robertson, I don't really see it as a bad option. So hence, I can go for a Kyle Walker here. I mean, I can double up on that Man City defense. Right now, it's a lot easier to double up on the Man City defense as compared to their attack, guys. I know a lot of people already have Haaland and they're looking for a second attacker, and that is where things get a bit tricky. But the same cannot be said for the defense, guys. At least right now, Walker looks like an option who could be nailed. Yes, he could have reduced minutes. There could be some position changes where Nathan Ake plays on the right, Cancelo plays on the left, for example, and then Walker's dropping out of the team. But again, right now, it's not looking like a possibility. It could happen, but in the short term, it's not looking like a possibility, guys. I think Walker is a really good option. Man City has slightly better fixtures in terms of clean sheet potential as compared to a Chelsea, for example. And that is why I'm probably preferring Walker right now. A lot of people are also going Cucurella, which is also not a bad option. If you're looking at a short-term punt, because I would probably call it as a punt, I'm not really sure what's the potential for a Cucurella in the longer term, because Chilwell is definitely going to get some minutes. Now, whether Chilwell can convert those minutes into a start, maybe Cucurella has a couple of bad games. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. But if that happens, yes, there is a chance that Chilwell comes in and maybe Cucurella drops to the bench, maybe even plays as a left centre back as a lot of people are speculating. Of course, we've still not seen him play in that centre back role, which he did for Brighton, of course. We've not seen that for Chelsea. That could happen. And that's my worry. That's the worry that I have in terms of maybe going for a Cucurella, because it's possible that I might be changing a Cucurella to maybe a Walker at that time, maybe even a Perisic. So I'm going to keep my options open. At least right now I feel that Walker is probably the better pick. Yes, I also have the money for a Perisic and I can go for a Perisic. But that move I want to probably hold for next week. And let's say if Perisic starts against Wolves in Game Week 3, guys, and he does really well, there is a possibility that I can get him in Game Week 4. So I'm keeping my options open. I've already done one move. If I'm not convinced of the Pascal Gross or maybe even Walker at this stage before the deadline, I might just save the transfer, get 2 transfers next week, and then I can deal with the Mount situation if I probably need to get in a Diaz. I can also then make these 2 moves and maybe even take a hit. I mean, a hit is probably not bad at this stage because a lot of people are already making a lot of changes, a lot of transfers. So I think I should be okay, guys. These are my transfer thoughts, my team selection for Game Week 3. Do let me know what transfer strategy you have. What are the players that you're selling this week? What are the ones that you're buying in the comments below. Now coming to captaincy, guys, talking about the best captaincy options for Game Week 3. Now, last week was a bit tricky in terms of going for a Haaland or going for a Salah. This week as well, guys, it could be a slightly trickier choice, but between 2 different options. We have Mo Salah, who's playing against United. We also have Gabriel Jesus, who's playing against Bournemouth. Both are away fixtures, so it's a bit tricky. And let's say if you have somebody like a Harry Kane, maybe a Son as well, guys, there's also an option to go for them. But at this stage, I mean, absolutely nobody owns the likes of Kane and Son. They could be great differentials. So if you are looking to do something different away from the template, I think there are possible options. But I think the most popular options have to be Mo Salah and Gabriel Jesus, guys. I think Mo Salah is a slightly better option to go for, just considering the fact that United are really poor at the moment. They are struggling on and off the pitch, and there is a chance of a big haul. His record for the last few games against United has also been pretty good. And I think with Firmino coming in the squad, guys, I think Salah will get a lot of attacking opportunities. The attacking potential is really high, and he has to slightly be the better pick this week. But Gabriel Jesus, he's in great form. He's scoring well. He's getting a lot of opportunities. He's creating chances as well, guys. So there's absolutely everything for a Gabriel Jesus masterclass captaincy this week. And if, let's say, if you don't have Salah, then I think Jesus is a really good option. I think a lot better than Haaland this week. In case if you want to do things a bit differently, if you want to take a bit of a chance, I think Jesus is a great option to go for. But my slight favorite is possibly going to be Salah, guys. Now, in case if you don't have a Salah, maybe you don't have the Tottenham options, you can also go for a Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne has been really good. I think he's playing a lot more further forward in majority games. And I think against Newcastle, I'm still not very sure what his position is going to be. Maybe he drops a bit deeper depending on how Newcastle turn up for that game. But I think there is potential against Newcastle as well. I know Newcastle are a strong defense, but I think KDB has the potential to unlock the defense, guys. So if you want to go differential, I think KDB is also a great captaincy option. But I think in terms of my ranking, I'll possibly rank Salah number 1, then probably Jesus. In case of differentials, guys, I really don't mind a Harry Kane or a Son, and they're probably better options than a Haaland and a Kevin De Bruyne this week. So these are my captaincy thoughts, guys. My captaincy is going to be on Mo Salah. Do let me know who are you captaining for Game Week 3. So that'll be all from my side for this video, guys. I hope you liked what you saw. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily FPL content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in Sainers next time.